tail.
Is that a cat skunk?
Good afternoon. It is New Year's Eve today, as I am sat here recording, and hopefully this will be up on YouTube in the next couple of days. But I thought I've done my hair today, makeup's on, and can you spot that I'm wearing something? I've finally finished my Stella hoodie that I was making, but we'll get onto that in a minute. So yes, the novelty isn't that I'm actually wearing something, it's that I'm wearing something handmade. So anyway, I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas and that you've got something nice planned to celebrate New Year. It's a bit of a funny one, I always think, New Year. I'm easy either way. I enjoy being with family or friends. I try not to make too much of a big deal of it, because I think we can get a bit wrapped up with making New Year's resolutions and thinking that it's, you know, a massive turning point. But ultimately, it's another day, isn't it? So, but we're going round to some friends this evening, so that will be quite nice. I have a lovely vanilla latte made by Amy. She got some new latte glasses for Christmas, so she's made me a lovely vanilla latte, so I'm feeling very spoilt. So the big question is, did anybody have any yarn related Christmas gifts this year? I'll be honest with you, this has probably been the year that I've received the least amount of yarn related gifts. A lot of my gifts were to do with sewing and little gadgets that I needed, and I was over the moon with those. It's quite handy having an Amazon wish list, and I sort of over the course of the year I'll add bits and pieces to it as I see them, and then my husband at Christmas goes through and picks you know, which ones he fancies buying for me for Christmas. And I do take advantage of being able to add a note to the listings. I don't know if anybody's noticed that you can do that, and you can comment on the priority level. So I make sure if there's something that I really, really want, that I say that it's high priority. So I feel very, very fortunate that I got those. I won't bore you all with the details of them, particularly if you're here more for the crochet than the sewing. But one of my favourite gifts was this. Does anybody know what that is? A sewing related gift? This is, I'm probably going to get this wrong now. I want to say a butcher's ham. Oh no, I think I've got that wrong. Maybe it's a sewer's ham. Ham is definitely in it. But basically it's for ironing things that are on the curve, so like shoulders and seams, you know, around like something like this that I'm making, or that I've made, you know, that are on a curve, and you can stretch them out over this ham and iron it. So that was my favourite thing, and I've used it a lot already, so really happy with that. And I brought some bits through to show you the other bits that I got. So a friend of mine brought me this 3D granny squares. I do love a 3D granny square. And there are lots of fun ones in here. Look, dog. That's another nice one. The puff stitch there, or bobble. That one, I've not spotted that one before. Look at that, that's nice. Santa's belt. Oh, I'm lost to the page. There it is, Santa's belt. That's clever, isn't it? So, that's one yarn related gift that I've got. Now here's another one from my another friend Sharon. I mentioned to her that I quite fancied having a go at Tunisian crochet, so she purchased me this fabulous workshop book and also a whole set of Tunisian crochet hooks. So I would like to master that. I think it'd be a nice thing to do. Oh look, that's a good thing. A pin cushion. I like that. So yes, and now I can have a go at Tunisian crochet. Nice book, that, really nice. Oh look, I've dried my hair with my big brush. I've got a big brush thing that blows air as well. Oh, I feel like I'm all boofy. Should have put some smoothing stuff on because it's just like gone woo. As well as all the sewing related bits that my husband got me. This was not on my wish list, but I think he's done quite well. Look at that. He thought that the dog was very cute. He obviously doesn't realise that amigurumi is my least favourite form of crochet. As it's from him, I have said that I will make it at some point. And then my very clever son piped up and asked if I would be adding facial features to the dog, because there is a bit of a running theme here, and I'll show you what he means. Ross has always bought me excellent gifts, and normally without any prompting from me at all. He's bought me a wooden yarn bowl before, and I'd never mentioned that to him. He bought me a lovely crochet book once, and then he bought me this kit. It was from Hooked, and it was a giraffe, and as you can see, I made it almost. And pretty much all that's missing is his face, and I do need, that should have been in my Vlogmas videos, shouldn't it, as an unfinished whip. That's probably because I didn't come across the box. I have still got the box with the instructions and what have you. So yes, and I do have another creature without a face, but that's upstairs and is in fact the llama. So I've done the llama, but it's missing eyes and ears, and I've not sewn its snout on. So there's a bit of a running theme, isn't there, with that? So they were my yarn related gifts. And then Ross, I had actually sent him a little link to this because I had seen it pop up in an email that I subscribed to. And I don't know if any of you have ever had the Craft Pod boxes before. I've had a couple, and I bought one for my sister a while back, and we really enjoyed sitting. It must have been prior to COVID. We really enjoyed sitting in her conservatory and doing the embroidery. In fact, I think it was the Christmas before COVID, so that'd be Christmas 2019. And she finished hers really quickly. It was a beautiful, beautiful cross stitch, really beautiful. Mine still isn't finished, but let's not worry about that because it will be done one day for one Christmas. I don't know what Christmas, but one Christmas it will be done for. God. Anyway, and now I've got myself another box. Well, Ross bought it for me. But you can subscribe. I think I want to say quarterly boxes. I don't think they're monthly. But this one was autumn themed. And the reason that I wanted this one was because there was a mushroom project, and I love mushrooms. Can you see just there? Oh, I couldn't resist it. As soon as I saw that, I could not resist it. In fact, here they are. So they're mini autumn embroideries. I'm out of practice, aren't I, with the camera? There we go. And you get everything in that you need. Look at that. Gorgeous. There's a lovely pin badge there, nice autumn themed. You get the glue that you need, a nice cup of tea. And these are the mini embroidery hoops. Look how dinky they are. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. So they were my craft related gifts. Now, I've got some other footage that I did. I was sorting out my hand-dyed yarn this week, so I have I'll be adding that probably after this little bit of the video, because while I've been taking a break over Christmas, I decided to try and have a bit of a sort out. So I know it must have worked because my son has just walked in and commented on how tidy this room looks. So if a 21-year-old can notice how tidy a room is, then I must have done a good job, mustn't I? Now I have other news. This is quite exciting and it relates to Vlogmas. If you recall, during Vlogmas, I opened up a languishing project bag each day to discover what project was inside, and we were deciding together whether or not it was a keeper or a weeper. And what I've decided to do, I came across in my tidying up this book that, this notebook that Ross bought me. Again, like I say, he gets great presents without any prompting from me. And I've started writing in the front the project that I came across. I need to revisit my videos so that I can remind myself of all the different projects, write them in there, and then I can tick them off as I complete them. So, and then any other projects, any other new projects that I start, I'm going to write in sort of like fresh pages here with all the details. I'm going to be very disciplined for 2021 and make sure that I complete one of these for all my projects. But I need a drum roll now. I have finished one of the whips that we uncovered. I'm so happy. Do you remember that bobble yarn that I had? And it was a long rectangle that was too small for the intended. It was supposed to be a cushion cover, but it was far too small because I'd done something very strange in the making process. Oh, that's a bit knobbly. And I decided I was still going to turn it into a cushion cover, but I'd got a very small cushion insert that it would fit. And that's exactly what I've done. So we've got a finished project already. Yoo-hoo! And it's not even 2022. It's Thursday. Thursday the something? Thursday the 30th, I think. And I've decided that I bought this plastic storage box. I think it's one of those underbed, designed to fit under a bed, underbed storage boxes with a lid. And the intention was for me to use it to store any wool that I needed to. You know, just in case my stash got too big, which obviously it has. And I'm thinking of putting my hand-dyed yarn in here because I keep throwing them in different storage boxes every time something arrives. And I'm really trying to get this unit sorted out. It's one of those big Kallax units. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5. And several weeks ago I bought some adaptations to put in, so that you can, instead of just having the open squares, you can have a door on the front or a shelf. So I need to have a bit of a sort out before I can think about how I'm going to use those different bits. So I thought I'd start with something nice and easy and quite pleasant and put my hand-dyed skeins in here. And I also ordered some of those wooden cedar rings that are supposed to be very good at keeping moths at bay. So I'll pop a couple of those in the box as well, just to keep it all well protected. So I'll pop you into fast forward mode because it's not going to be terribly exciting, is it? And basically we just want to see the yarn, and I wonder how much of this is going to be full. Caveat, there is more upstairs in the attic that used to be my craft room. So yeah, let's just see what happens, shall we? Right, now I'm up in the attic where my headquarters and craft room used to be, and I realise I still haven't done a proper introduction or reveal of my room downstairs, which I was going to do, but I'm not quite sure there's that much point because you've seen so much of it now, but maybe I will one day. So I've decided that my yarn really needs to be kept up here because most of it is up here already, and then that does mean that I can keep my room downstairs as purely Mrs. G workspace. I can have all my fabric down there for sewing and all of my stitch marker and business paraphernalia can all be down in that room. I think that will work better. So this is my hand-dyed yarn, with the exception of the whirl. All of that is hand-dyed yarn that I had lurking downstairs. So I know that I have more up here, and I have been quite good actually. I have got a basket here which is full of hand-dyed yarn, but I had, as you can see, put it in plastic Ziploc bags to keep them protected. So and these are the wooden discs that I was saying about. Cedar wood, they're supposed to help keep moths at bay, so I'll put 2 in this plastic box here. You're probably the same as me. You've probably seen so many places having Boxing Day sales, lots of yarn dyers having sales, and I've got as far as putting things in my basket and then deciding that there might be something else that I wanted, and that I would wait and I'd look at it when I'm on my computer, when the screen's bigger and I can have a proper look at everything. Because there's nothing worse than doing some shopping and then going through checkout and then discovering that you'd missed something and you're like, oh, can't be bothered to go through the ordering system again and then message them to say, can we combine postage, blah de blah de blah. And so I haven't actually bought anything, but I have been so tempted. Like I say, actually got as far as putting it in my basket and beginning to go through checkout. I'm glad that I haven't, because, you know, I'm glad that I haven't carried on and bought them, because I do not need any more hand-dyed yarn unless there's a specific project that I need a specific thing, because I have so much. I've also got hand-dyed yarn that I dyed myself. That is actually in this bag. There's about 3 skeins in there. I love that. I did that with Sharon on my birthday in 2020. Yeah, 2020 we did dyeing in her garden. So I do not need any. Oh, I love this one. Absolutely love this one. I can remember when I bought this skein, and it was at the day before we went into lockdown. I went to the Sheffield Yarn Festival. Can't think what it was called. It wasn't the Wool Monty. It was organised by Running with Scissors. Oh, might have just been as simple as Sheffield Yarn Festival, I'm not sure. But Carrie from Peak District Yarns, who is just wonderful, and Sharon and I have been on a couple of courses at her studio in Tideswell in Derbyshire, and I think there was somebody, her assistant for the day was crocheting, I think using, or had made a scarf using this yarn, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So it's called Toad's Mouth. A really rich teal and green with black. Just love it, really nice. So Carrie's yarn is beautiful. I made a shawl for my sister-in-law in her Henderson's Relish colourway, sort of like orange and black. That was beautiful. So I'm rustling now as I zip it back up. So do love Carrie's yarn. Right, that's that. I have so much from the Yarn Whisperer. No surprise there. This was a nice one I got myself last year. It was the cream egg colourway that he did. It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Right, okie dokie, pop that away. It's supposed to be getting on with things, not being distracted. Right. So that's actually now created. I've now got an empty basket here. Let's see if there's hand dyed anywhere else. Oh gosh, it's amazing when you start looking what you've actually got. I've got some more of this bobble yarn in baby blue and white. And I've also got loads of this Sirdar Snuggly Snowflake. Oh gosh, and I've got this blue bobbly yarn as well. I got that from my local yarn shop when it was closing down, but goodness knows what I'm going to do with it. Anyway, We're not getting distracted by those. I'm looking for hand-dyed yarn. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Done. Oh my goodness. It's finished. I can't believe I have finished the Stella hoodie. +3. Oh, surely this is going to go this time.